In today's video, you're gonna learn what a rinseless wash process is and when to use it depending on the condition of your vehicle or the environment that you're working in. Now, it was kind of raining when I was shooting this video, and then there was some cars passing by, so it's a little noisy at times, so please excuse that portion of the audio. But other than that, let's go ahead and get started. So is a rinseless wash process the right fit for you? Well, you want to think about two things. One, what's the condition that the vehicle is in, right? And what's your goal with it? Meaning, if the vehicle is caked on, it's muddy, it hasn't been washed in months, if you really want to be conscious of the swirls and scratches that you're installing to the paintwork, then maybe a rinseless wash isn't a great fit for you because it's really caked on. Now, you can either rinse off the vehicle first and then go into the rinseless wash method. That's a possibility. But the second thing you want to take into consideration is the work environment that you're in. If you're in an apartment or you're in an area that has restrictions on water, or maybe you're like it's outside and it's very sunny and hot. Well, in that case, if you don't want to use that much water or you don't want to foam off the vehicle because it's going to dry on you, well then maybe the rinseless wash process is a good fit for you. So look at it on the condition that it's in, meaning what's the condition of the dirt, and then what's the condition of your paint. If you did correct and polish the vehicle, perhaps you don't want to do a rinseless wash if the vehicle is caked on with dirt. Even though it just really depends on what you're looking to go for. Now, another thing you want to take into consideration is the type of swirls and scratches that you're installing. There's kind of two camps when it comes to this. There is, like for most of our customers, when they think about swirls and scratches, they think of like a key to the car, right? They think like it's like an actual like damaged portion of the vehicle. So maybe that they're at a grocery store and a cart hits them. That would be a scratch to them. Now to other people, swirls and scratches are the micro scratches that you put in the paintwork that you can see in the sun when the sun's hitting it outside, right? So a lot of times like people don't want to go with a rinseless wash because, oh, it's gonna scratch at my car. But like most customers, most people don't really care about those fine swirls and scratches that are in the paintwork. That's just the reality, right? Not many people care about those micro swirls and scratches. What they care about when they refer to scratches is, oh no, it's fine. I don't see any scratches. There's no key mark. There's no bumps. There's no marks. My paint's good. So depending on where you fall, there's no right or wrong answer. It just, do you care about those micro swirls and scratches, or do you just want a clean car? Or do you care about those micro scratches, right? And you don't want to put any of them because your paint is corrected, polished, and coated. Right, so just think about those two main things. So for us, when we're outside working in the sun, when it's 90 degrees, 95 degrees, 100 degrees, for us, it makes it a lot easier to go with a rinseless wash method, assuming that the condition meets the requirement for this wash process, because we're not gonna have to fight the sun as much. So the way I choose to do the rinseless wash method, it's gonna change person to person. Someone might actually rinse it with a pressure washer first and then go into the wash process and then just dry it without rinsing it again. Someone would just go straight into the rinseless wash process and then rinse it afterwards and then dry it. It's gonna change person to person. It's just, there is no one size fits all. So the way I do it is I have a pump sprayer. You can just use a spray bottle. We have a IK12 pump sprayer and it holds, I think, 1.5 gallons or a gallon and a half of water. We have one bucket with one mitt, and I'm testing out the black foam from Optimum No Rinse, I think it's from, and a drying towel. That's it. A pump sprayer or whatever spray bottle size bottle with your rinseless wash solution. You're gonna have a bucket filled with your rinseless solution, and here I have only maybe 2 gallons of water in here, so we don't use a lot of water, and then a drying towel. Very, very straightforward. Now, if you want, again, it goes back to like how you can tweak the process and the system, is you can use multiple wash mitts if you want and discard it every time you use all sides, right? So if you have 4 fresh towels in there, you grab one, you wash it. Once it's dirty, you discard it and grab a new one. You can just use one of these, which I'm gonna be using here. It's just this one, and use it for the entire vehicle and just wring it out in the water. So there's multiple ways to go about it based on your condition and based what you want done. So I'll set the microfiber towel aside up here for a bit. So this vehicle is a bit dirty, and I want to say it fits well for a rinseless wash solution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pump up the pump sprayer, and I'm going to saturate the surface to lubricate it, and then I'm going to go in with my wash mitt or my wash media, depending on whatever you use, and simply wash the panels and repeat the process. It is a very, very, very straightforward process. So first, let's get the pump in. Now, side note, that does look like it took quite a bit of time, but it depends on how much solution you have in there and how much space you have to pressurize it. That's why we're a fan of the other pump sprayers that you're able to air it up with the compressor, because you fill it up in like a second versus trying to pump it up like that. Anyways, so next step is very simple. We have our pump sprayer pumped up. We have our rinseless wash solution in here, and we are going to saturate the area that we're gonna work on. And you can somewhat use this as a pressure washer, if you may, and get the gunk out of the tighter areas, right? So if your vehicle is a bit dirtier, or maybe there's just more gunked up dirt in some specific areas, you can kind of push it out with this. But instead of that, I'm literally just going to give it a good rinse down so the surface is lubricated. Now, personally, I'm not a fan of using that much water, which is why I always go for the rinseless wash solution. I just don't like using, 20, 30, 40 gallons of water to wash one vehicle. Now, if it needs it because it's that dirty and we have to take care of the vehicle in a certain manner, yes. But for instance, on this one, this is a workhorse for me. I don't really wash it that often. I test a lot of things on it. We go through a lot of things as far as like where I drive it and such. So I'm not too worried about the actual keeping a swirl-free finish, but I do want to make it look presentable and just shiny. So that's why a rinseless wash solution is always done on this one, unless we're testing something out. So that's going to be enough right there. So there, I pre-rinsed it. Again, if you have a spray bottle, a smaller pump sprayer, what have you, if you want, you can pre-treat it. Then I'm going to take my solution right here, and literally, in the most basic sense, I'm just going to go back and forth, and that's it. That is as difficult as it gets, people. And again, if you have a pressure washer and you want to rinse it out afterwards, you can rinse this off before you dunk it into the water. If you have multiple towels, you will discard this towel, grab another towel, and do the wash process, right? So I'm not trying to say like this, there's one concrete black and white way. It's just whatever way you like to do it that way, right? There's no detailing police anywhere, right? You're not gonna get a ticket or you're not gonna get fined for anything. Whatever way you wanna do it, just do it that way. So I'm gonna wring it out right here, right? And I'm gonna dunk it again. I'm gonna wring it out a bit right here, and then come back to the back side and finish it off. Gonna wring it out. And now this whole section is basically done. Now, again, if it is dirtier and you see there's a lot of brown sludgy coming off because of the dirt and such, you can get the pressure washer and rinse it down. It just depends on what you wanna do. If on the next step, you actually wanna start applying a spray wax to help you, one, dry it quicker, and two, apply some form of protection, you can do that. You can spray some protection on there, some spray wax. And then you can begin the drying process. And now you're drying, it's getting a bit of lubricity, getting a little bit of shine and protection. Now, actually, I didn't start with the roof. Ideally, you don't want to start with the roof and work your way down, but for video's sake, I'm just going to start with the side of the vehicle. But as you can tell, this takes absolutely no time. I don't think I touched this part, but I'll just skip it for now. This takes no time whatsoever relative to a 2-bucket wash method or rinsing it down, foaming it, rinsing it, foaming it, washing it, and having multiple mitts, which we never do actually. But it's just a much faster, efficient way to get the job done. So the passenger side is done. Again, so all we're gonna do is take our pump spray. This is why I like the pump spray. We can hold it and walk around with it. And we don't have to pump it up as much. And then we're gonna spray it down, douse it. It's very easy to get this area very, very saturated because you can put so much product down with the pump sprayer that you can really go all this in one go. And we'll call it there. This time I'm gonna use a wash mitt actually, just to use something a bit different. I wring that out a little bit. And we are going to just wash the vehicle as normal. Now again, a rinseless wash, the reason why I like it, like I mentioned earlier, is that it just uses less water. So if I don't have to create a big old mess of water and leave that in the client's driveway or just in your own garage, that's favorable for me. Okay, so there, this side is all done now. Again, whatever you want, you could rinse it off if you want. You can wring it out, you can discard it, grab a new mitt, grab a new towel. Here, just to keep things very simple for you guys, to show you that you don't gotta overcomplicate it, I'm just gonna wring it out right here, dunk it back, or it's kind of swirl it in there, loosen up the debris, wring it out a little bit, and then get back to the washing. Now the point of the rinseless, as I was saying, is that it's just to use less water, right? So in whatever method that you choose, you are using less water. So even if you do rinse it off before and after, you might be saying, well, isn't it meant to be a rinseless? It's like, yeah, you're using less water, right? You're rinsing less. So like, it would still be more water usage if you foam it down, rinse it, and do all those steps. And another video, I'll show you how to do it with the actual wheels as well. Right now, I have Steelies on, so I can't really do a whole wheel cleaning because it just doesn't seem right. But like you can do, if it's in the condition where you can do the rinseless without rinsing it down. I mean, with just 4 gallons of water, you can wash your vehicle, clean the wheels, and have a clean car. Now again, the process might be different in terms of what you're actually able to clean, like especially in the wheels and such, versus like what you can do if you have a pressure washer and all. Like there is gonna be a difference between those two. But for most people, again, for most people that like, they don't really care about like, oh, swirls and scratches. Like, no, I can't have any swirls and scratches in my paintwork. They just want a clean, washed vehicle. So this is a perfect fit for that. And again, like it's a lot less cumbersome or difficult to complete because you only need a few tools and products. You only need a very limited space to get the job done. So I did the whole front end. I'm gonna grab the spray wax, mist it, and then dry it. And here we are using a Suds Lab Z8 Carnauba Mist Wax. I believe you can get these in Walmart, at least that's what I've seen. Well, I've seen online, so if you're in Walmart, get you some Suds Lab. And as that's simple, I'm gonna wrap up the video right there. It's nothing overcomplicated. I don't want you to think that you have to do these super careful steps. Again, there is a time and place for a more delicate, gentle, comprehensive wash, if you even wanna say that, based on the condition, or even if you just want to, you can do that. But I wanna say for most people, right? Like for most people that just wanna wash their vehicle, it's not really a thing to have to bust out a 2-bucket wash method with 5 different wash mitts and use one wash mitt for the top, one wash mitt for the middle, one wash mitt for the bottom, to rinse it down. That's overkill to a lot of people. And something like the rinseless wash or even a waterless wash method would be much more ideal. So I'm gonna wrap up the video right there. You can check the description box down below for any of the tools and products that I used in this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. But other than that, I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye-bye.